Hey guys, my name is Sean and I'm out here in Hongdae interviewing foreigners on what they think is the most ideal job for them in Korea. What's your name?
My name is Daphne.
And where are you from again?
I'm from Paris.
And so how long have you lived in Korea so far?
I've been here only from October.
What do you think is the most ideal job for foreigners here in Korea?
I think it will be better if you work for a startup or a foreign company in Korea. Like American company hiring.
Why is that?
Because I think the Korean system for you will not suit you, you're not prepared. And many Korean actually wants to, the one I know from my age, they want to go out of Korea because of the pressure. So
Your Korean friends you're talking about?
Yes, my Korean friends.
What kind of pressure is that? What do you mean?
I just think that the working hours are very long.
What do your Korean friends want to be here in Korea? What do you think? Do you think they want to work in those big companies like Samsung or whatnot, or the jobs?
I think Samsung and LG, Hyundai, they really want to work there because it's very prestigious.
Yeah.
But if they cannot, maybe they will reach for other prestigious foreign brands. Yeah. I think the prestige of the company is kind of important here.
Really?
I
Just
think
the name
so.
of it?
Maybe. Maybe.
Also, maybe for the ideal job for a Korean here would be like a company with a name, but for a foreigner it would be something like you said earlier.
Yeah, some foreign company hiring Korea to not have the pressure of the hierarchy. It's very strong here.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe you will be a bit off. I don't know. I'm not sure actually, but
What do you think is the most ideal job for a French person in France?
to work hard to be hired in a very good company to earn a good salary.
Oh, maybe it's like you can say it's almost like the same as Korea. A good company, a good pay.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, in France as well, we have very the hierarchy is also very strong, and we have to study 2 years after high school to go to the prestigious school, and then in the prestigious school, the competition is very hard to enter to very prestigious companies. So
Also
kind of the same. Yeah.
Kind of similar. Thank you for sharing your opinion today. Your thumbs up.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, how's it going? Where are you from?
I'm from Denmark.
So can I ask what you're doing here in Korea?
Yeah, I do modeling, acting, and I also do some small businesses on the side.
Okay.
A lot of people, they have the dream of becoming independent. So they don't necessarily want to be sponsored by a company, or they don't want to... Obviously, a lot of people, they come here because they like the culture, like the way of life. I think a lot of people, they want to become independent, do their own thing. I kind of want to start a business here as well. I keep making the excuse that Corona has been ruining for me.
It's a great excuse. Yeah.
But at least now I'm doing like just modeling just to float, making some money.
So freelancer or entrepreneur really fits that.
Yeah, and like, being able to work online, go where you want, but still have a base here. I feel like that's a thing that a lot of people, they crave. But I come here, I probably have to learn Korean first really perfectly, get an F2 visa or something, right? So yeah, otherwise, be sponsored by a company. So,
What I'm hearing you say is there's a lot of limitations here and a lot of obstacles here for foreigners just coming.
Yeah, that's true.
The new system, you got to learn.
That as well, yeah.
So, how about in Denmark? What would be like the ideal job there? What are your parents or like your family? What do they think? Oh, if he becomes this, if he gets this job, he's succeeded. He's done well. For me, it was doctor.
Doctor?
Yeah.
My mother is, as long as I'm just living a good life and I'm not in any financial crisis or whatever, she's probably pretty happy.
Yeah.
But I think she wants me maybe to, ideally, to have a little bit more stability in my life. Yeah. I did used to work in banking back in Denmark.
Okay.
So I quit that because it was not really my thing. So, and she knew that as well. So she doesn't want me to go back to like a 9-to-5 job, just sitting at a desk.
Yeah. What about your Korean friends?
Yeah.
What's their dream job in Korea? How is that different from what you just said about foreigners or Europeans?
There's many people telling them to go like the safe route.
Yeah.
Get into a good university.
Yes.
Don't really care about what you're studying in university. Go into a big company. Work your ass off.
Stability.
For a long time. Yeah, stability, right? So don't do anything too crazy. I mean, for your parents bragging, right, and bragging to your friends and stuff, right?
Yeah.
You hear that a lot, like the Korean parents, the Korean mother who is like, my son works at Samsung, right?
Yeah. So what is that job in Denmark? A prestigious job.
I would say like consultant or a doctor, of course. Always lawyer. Yeah.
So if your mother's like, oh, my son, he's a lawyer, and everybody's like, wow.
Amazing, right?
Yeah. Oh, my son, he works at McDonald's.
hell, man.
He'll find a better job. Yeah.
It's not my son anymore.
Thank you for your excellent words.
No, nice talking to you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
그리고 저는 요즘 멤버십 프로그램을 하고 있는데 새로 영상을 올릴 때마다 영어 대본과 한영 자막을 자유롭게 설정할 수 있는 영상도 멤버들에게 올려드릴게요. 관심 있으시면 아래 설명을 참고해주세요.
어디 국적이신지 물어봐도 될까요?
네, 저 우즈베키스탄에서 왔어요.
저도 우즈베키스탄. 예.
어제 제가 알기로는 대부분 한국인 친구들이 갖고 싶은 직업은 IT 쪽으로 IT 전문가 되고 싶다 뭐 이런 거 많이 들었거든요. 이제 또 하나는 그 이사 뭐 그런 식으로 이제 선생님 뭐 영어 선생님 뭐 그런 식으로 알고 있어요. 네.
한국의 꿈이 뭘까요?
이제 저희 어렸을 때부터 어머니께서 아버지께서가 저희한테 뭐 이사 되라 뭐 공무원 되라 뭐 꼭 대학 다녀야 된다 뭐 이런 식으로 저희한테 말씀을 많이 들었거든요. 이제 좀 시간이 지나갈수록 저희가 이제 뭐 사고 방식이 좀 넓어서 뭐 유학 왔다가 생각이 좀 달라서 이제 저희 꿈꾸는 걸로 이렇게 공부를 해서 그런 식으로 가는 거죠.
유학은 어디서 하시는지 물어봐도 될까요?
저 그 서울과학기술대학교. 네.
전학교 나오시네요.
이제 외국에서 제가 알기로 사람들이 보통 뭐 자기가 이제 원하는 거, 꿈꾸는 거, 갖고 가는 거 이제 아무거나 할 수 있는데 이게 한국에서 일 찾기도 힘든 거 알고 있거든요. 그래서 이제 공부를 엄청 오래 열심히 해서 이제 취직하는 게 제일 중요하다고 생각해서 한 번에 취직한 다음에 이제 한 가지 일을 오랫동안 할 수 있는 사람들이 일을 잃어버리는 거는 좀 무섭다고 생각해서. 예.
Thank you for coming out. Thank you. All right. So where are you guys from? France. As a foreigner, what do you think the most ideal job is for a foreigner in Korea?
I don't know, maybe a football player, soccer star.
Football player?
Yeah, like Son. Son is famous in Korea, so why not?
If you guys end up living in Korea, what do you think is the most ideal job for you?
For me, it would be something in the cultural field. Like to link French culture with Korean culture. Actually, I really want to do that later in life.
Maybe engineering.
Engineering?
Yeah, it's not what I'm studying right now, but maybe I think that Korea is ahead in this field.
What is the ideal job in France for you guys? What do your parents want you to do? What did they tell you to do when you were growing up?
My parents have always been really like free on this. Like they let me do what I want, but I'd say in France, like the jobs that are recommended are like to be a doctor.
To be a doctor?
Or lawyer.
I think that's everywhere.
Everywhere.
Just earn money. Yeah, in France it's more earn money and that's it. Yeah.
Don't starve, earn money, eat food.
Exactly. So now in France I'm in business, I'm a business student. So yeah, for me it's kind of marketing, something like that. A lot of communication too, skills, Photoshop.
I've interviewed almost three French people today.
Yeah. Okay.
They said that being a model is good.
Modeling? Oh,
Do you know any model friends here in Korea?
When I came to Korea, at first a Korean guy told me, "You have a big nose," and I was like, "Oh, is that a compliment or something?"
That sounds kind of like an insult.
Definitely in France, yeah. But here apparently it's kind of a compliment.
Yeah, I've been already arrested for my nose. I mean, look at it. Look at it, bro. Like I have a big nose. So, yeah.
Sure.
This is my nose.
What a beautiful
French one.
Wait, how do you have to look like in France to be a model?
Tall.
Yeah, you have to be tall.
With muscle.
Muscly.
What do you think Koreans want to be in Korea? What's their ideal job?
I think that would be in finance. Or be a lawyer.
They dream less than European countries because they are more like structured. In what they should do.
Yeah.
More social pressure.
More social pressure.
Yeah. Thank you.
Where are you from?
I'm from South Africa.
And how long have you lived in Korea so far?
Just over 2 years. Most people who come here, it's like just a for now thing. Most English teachers that I've met, they are much younger and they've just come here as like a kind of a gap year.
A gap year?
Or not, I don't want to call it a gap year, but it's sort of like a year to figure out, or maybe 2 years to figure out, okay, what's my next step, what's my next move. So they're not just like twiddling their thumbs at home, that they can be doing something, making money, seeing a new country, and then go home and go back to university or save up for the next step. But yeah, most people who come here, I would say their goal is not to be a teacher or to be within the education sphere. I can think of very few of my friends, myself included, who we are actually in the field we want to be in.
Really?
Yeah.
Surprising, because you know, a majority, I'm not going to say that they're all like that, but a majority of the people here who are adults and are foreigners are mostly English teachers, you know?
Maybe it's just a lot of lost people in the world and Korea is a good option for them.
A stepping stone for the next...
Yeah, and it's a wonderful stepping stone. It's something different, something new, way to ease your way into the big world after university. Yeah.
I love what you said. Yeah, I got a good perspective on an English teacher's point of view of here in Korea. All right, thank you. Thumbs up. 21세기의 가장 이상적인 직업이 무엇이라고 생각하시나요?
확실하게 하고 싶은 게 딱 정해져 있는 건 아닌데 사실 저도 관심 있는 분야가 있었는데 약간 그쪽으로 가려면 되게 공부를 되게 오래 해야 되더라고요. 근데 그게 또 현실적으로 약간 이제 빨리도 독립해서 돈 벌고 싶기도 하고 요즘 막 생각이 많아져가지고 그쪽 길은 잠시 보류하고 이제 저도 취업에 좀 전념을 하는 쪽으로 바꾼 것 같아요.
그래요?
네, 그래서 저도 대기업 쪽으로 취업하는 그쪽이 아무래도 제일
대기업이요?
네, 대기업이요.
대기업. 혹시 저 외국인 친구들이 많으세요?
저는 있었는데 다 끊겼어요.
끊겼어요, 연락이.
네.
한국에서 외국인들에게 가장 이상적인 직업이 뭐라고 생각하시나요? 제가 듣기로는 뭐 영어 선생님이라든가 뭐 유튜버라든가
유튜버도 요즘 많이들 하시는 것 같더라고요.
네네네.
근데 영어 선생님 하기에는 좀 그렇지 않아요?
아, 그쵸.
그쵸. 여기까지 와서
맞아요.
너무 쉬운 거 그렇게 다 하면 좀 그런 것 같은데. 근데 막 좀 외국 사람들은 이렇게 한국인처럼 막 그냥 대기업 취직 이런 거는 막 그렇게 크게 좋아할 것 같진 않는데.
그쵸. 본인의 입장을 뭐 공유해 주셔서 감사하고요.
네.
슬슬 마무리합시다. Where are you from?
I'm from Texas.
And how long have you lived in Korea so far?
For about 6 months now.
6 months? Okay, so you've lived here for a pretty long time.
Yeah. Well, my perspective, since I have a degree in engineering, I would like to get an engineering job.
Engineering job?
Yes.
Okay.
But I think the culture of engineering in Korea might be kind of difficult. I hear people get overworked a lot.
Yeah.
But maybe I could bring something new to the table.
Oh, I see. Overwork, you mean like as in
working like
overtime?
Yeah, like way much overtime.
Oh, you get a lot of stress from that.
My friends, most of them fall back on English teaching. Lots of them want to be content creators, some of them.
Well, like YouTube
or maybe TikTok. Some of that.
TikTok. See, I hope you have a wonderful time here in Korea.
Thank you.
Okay, where are you from again?
I'm from France.
France. And how long have you been in Korea?
It's been like 6 months. So foreigners, like people usually love to be like model in Korea.
Really?
Yeah, it's like pretty easy for foreigner.
You have a lot of model friends.
I have.
Why do you think it's easy to work as a model in Korea?
Maybe like in France, you have to be like skinny, like be like really pretty for big model. But in Korea, it's more like if you're different.
If you're
foreigner, it's like super easy. You don't have to be like skinny. You don't need.
So the standard of beauty is different.
Yeah, super different.
You know, a lot of Westerners, they have more defined facial features than Koreans, or maybe their eyebrows are darker or like whatnot. Yeah.
It really is. Peckful.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time today.
Okay.
And where are you from?
I'm from Israel.
Israel. And how long have you lived in Korea?
For about 1.5 years.
A year and a half?
Yeah. I personally came here to be a film director.
A film director?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
How's that going?
Bad. Just
Oh no, it's good. It's good. You know, we all have our dreams and our goals.
I have a few friends there now are university students, but most of them will go to like big companies, like Samsung, and stuff like that.
Korean friends?
Yeah, also Korean friends and foreign friends.
Also
yes.
Foreign friends.
Yeah.
Also more like a stable job, one that pays well. I see. All right, thank you so much. Yeah. And where are you from again?
I'm from London, England.
From London in England. And so how long have you been living in Korea here so far?
Yeah, I've been living in Seoul for 2 years now. I came to Korea to work as an English teacher.
Yeah.
But photography is like is my thing.
It's your passion, yeah.
Yeah. So for me personally, I guess it is a little bit of a means to an end. It's allowed me to come here,
of course,
and take pictures.
Yeah, yeah.
I know people that have gone on to study Korean to get a different visa type, so that they can have more choice with jobs.
I see. What do you think the ideal job is for a Korean here in Korea?
I've got students that say the same thing. They'd like to be, head of like a big company.
Big company.
Yeah, the chaebol kind of dream.
CEO.
Exactly. Yeah. But I think it's easy to have that image of like the dream job like that. But then obviously those jobs are few and far between.
Of course.
And those people are working like 100+ hours a week.
Of course,
and that's not a dream job for me.
What did your parents want you to be when you grew up?
They just wanted me to be happy. No, I never had those pressures.
Really?
Yeah, I don't envy a lot of my students have that pressure on them. Yeah, like kids going to school here at such a young age and doing such long hours is very strange to me coming from the UK. I think the pressure that a lot of people in Korea are under is so immense. To have those top jobs, to be the doctor, those traditional dream,
the
jobs.
Traditional dream, the traditional Korean dream.
Yeah, I'll probably stay here till the end of the year. And then I will have been here for like 2.5 years. I don't know, probably time for me to start the next chapter.
I think the next chapter of your life, yeah, I see.
It's so easy to live here, like unbelievably.
Yeah.
There is a before and after coronavirus.
Yeah.
When we first got here, like so many people were approaching us on the street to just say, do you need help? Where are you trying to get to?
Yeah.
Just wanting to practice English. And then from like March last year, that fell away and there was a difference.
Yeah, there's a big difference in...
and people are a bit more, not all people, but some people are more anxious.
Well, I love what you had to say. It's good to hear the English, the perspective from England. Yeah, it's good. All right, thanks for your time.
요즘은 그냥 제 개인적인 생각으로는 이제 그 평균 수명도 늘어났고 계속 돈을 벌어야 한다 이런 아무래도 생각이 계속 들어서 아무래도 주식이요?
네. 주식이요? 주식이 투자하는 거?
네, 꼭 뭐 펀드 매니저나 뭐 금융 자산운용사 이런 쪽이 아니더라도 그냥 직업 쪽은 아니지만 주식을 계속 배워 나가면서 그렇게 개인 투자자로서 활동하는 것도 21세기에 좋은 직업이라고 할 수 있을지 모르겠지만 여튼
본인은 뭐 개인적으로 하고 싶으신 일이 있으세요?
저는 지금 고민을 계속 하고 있는데 저 같은 경우는 이제 창업도 관심이 어느 정도 있고 뭐 주식 쪽으로도 관심이 어느 정도 있다 보니까 우선 최대한 학생 신분에서 할 수 있는 걸 같이 병행할 수 있으면 해보자 라고 해서 뭐 좀 수준이 얕긴 하지만 둘 다 준비를 하고 있습니다.
여기서 한국에서 살고 계시는 외국인 분들에게는 뭐 아무래도 뭐 이상적인 직업이라는 게 되게 다를 수도 있을 거예요. 그게 무엇이라고 생각하시나요?
네, 영어 선생님도 충분히 경쟁력 있다고 생각을 하고 아무래도 모국어가 그 친구들은 이제 외국어기도 하고 한국에 유학을 왔으니까 또 한국어도 잘 하다 보니까 외국계 회사도 괜찮은 직업이라고 생각을 합니다.
네. 오늘 생각을 공유해 주셔서 감사하고요. Where are you from?
I'm from Mexico. I think what's important is for you to have a specific skill that you have developed to a point that you can market yourself. But then I think it's important to know Korean and know the Korean society well, so you can sell that skill to them. So in my case, for example, I work as a proofreader and editor for video games. So the skill I have is languages. I speak various languages, not only Spanish, English, German. That's a skill that I have.
Korean as well?
A little bit, yes. So, but I proofread translations from Korean to English.
Oh, proofreading translations. I see.
Exactly. So that's a skill that I have found that is very marketable, and I've gotten a lot of other jobs, freelancing jobs as well.
I see.
So I don't say that is like the ideal job, but that's having that skill has helped me get a lot of jobs there.
In Mexico, from where you're from, what is the most ideal job for people there? What do you think? While you were growing up,
People always dream of like having jobs like doctor, lawyer, something like that.
Oh, that's very typical, like America.
Yeah, yeah. It's like you want to earn a lot of money.
Of course.
But something like that, as a foreigner coming in here, it probably would be harder to just be like a doctor or a lawyer.
Of course, yeah, that's very hard.
I know people though that because of their language knowledge, they work in law firms as advisors for foreigners as well.
For foreigners as well.
So again, the language plays a big role there.
Thank you for your time today. I'm giving you a thumbs up here. What's your name?
I'm Polly. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Where are you from again?
I'm from Hong Kong.
And so you've been here in Korea for how long so far?
For 3 months only.
So as a foreigner here in Korea, if you decide to live here in the long run, what do you think the most ideal job is here for foreigners, or for you even?
I think that would be great if we can teach English. Or even for me, I can teach Chinese.
Chinese.
Yeah. I think that would be great if you can be a teacher here.
Yeah.
If I can speak really well Korean first.
Yeah, of course. So in the education field, I see.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of friends doing that?
My boyfriend is a teacher.
Your boyfriend is a teacher?
Yeah.
Korean?
No. He's also from Hong Kong. He's teaching in international school here.
Oh, so he's teaching English or Chinese?
No, he's teaching PE.
PE. He's teaching PE. What do you think a Korean would want to be here in Korea?
I cannot think of a specific job type, but I think they would prefer working in an office.
Office?
Yeah, like office environment. Yeah, I think that's more common.
But like Samsung or like a big company, yeah.
When we learn Korean, and then the first occupation is 회사원. So it's
회사원.
Yeah. So I feel like it's a typical job type here. Yeah.
How does that differ from Hong Kong? What did your parents want you to be when you were little? Did they say be an office worker, or did they say, teach English? Or
I think my parents is not typical Asian parents. They are, they are quite open-minded, so they don't mind me flying all over to Korea to chase for my dream.
Yeah.
I feel like most of the Hong Kong parents, they expect their kids to work at a very good company as well.
A good company as well.
Yeah, they have their plans since they're very young, or even before kindergarten. So I feel like most of the parents, they expect you to earn good money. They expect them to have a good title. So so that's very typical.
Seems like a very Asian ideal. My parents are Asian as well, and they're like, you have to doctor or something or whatnot. And then, so what do you think the best company is to work at in Hong Kong, in your opinion?
I think probably Google or Facebook, or Apple, these kind of companies. Yeah.
Very big companies. Yeah. I love what you said today. Thank you for sharing your opinion, and
Thank you.
Where are you from?
Australia.
And how long have you lived in Korea so far?
7 years.
7 years. And so while you've been living here in Korea, I'm sure you've heard a lot of foreigners they want to be an English teacher or whatnot, or they're talking about the most desirable job is here. What is the most desirable job for you here in Korea?
If I just take my network for example, I think most people want to work for a foreign company in Korea. So I guess using their expertise from probably their home country, but applying them in the Korean context.
In the Korean context, maybe language or translation.
Or a business trade such as what I do myself. I think working from the big multinational companies would be quite ideal.
Well, how about your friends? Do you have a lot of foreigner friends here in Korea?
I guess most of my friends are Korean.
What's the most ideal job for them as Koreans, you think?
I think typically working for the big chaebol is always the big goal, but I think more and more as time goes on, they're quite realizing they can work for a smaller firm or company and probably have a better work-life balance as well.
Of course. Yeah, I think the most ideal job that I've heard is Samsung or whatnot.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The big companies, office job, pays well.
Yeah, that's right. But they probably don't know how many hours they need to commit to the job. It's not as easy as it sounds.
So I see you're very satisfied with your job here in Korea with trade and commerce. But how does that differ with Australia? What's the most ideal job for a person there?
Oh, I think it comes down to the individual. For me, I studied international relations, so working either in for the Australian government would be something I would obviously envy, but I think working for a big multinational, like I said before, is something that's quite desirable. And if you're in Korea, I think that's the ultimate for many people.
Ultimate, yeah. I see. I love what you had to say. I love getting the Australian perspective on things. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your time, for your interview today, and then give you a thumbs up.
Cheers.
See ya.